So I just want to make sure that I understand exactly what you're saying. You're telling me that Google, an American company, supposedly, is refusing to work with the Department of Defense, but is doing work in with China in a way that at least indirectly benefits the Chinese government. Is that correct?
I haven't heard the word refuse, but there's a lack of willingness to support DoD programs.
General, you're nodding your head. Do you want to weigh in on this?
No, Senator, I'm nodding your head on exactly the point that you made, that the work that Google is doing in China is indirectly benefiting the Chinese military. And I've been very public on this issue as well. In fact, the way I described it to our industry partners is, look, we're the good guys. In the values that we represent, in the system that we represent, is the one that will allow and has allowed you to thrive, and that's the way I've characterized it. So I was just nodding that what the Secretary was articulating is a general sense of all of us as leaders, and we watch with great concern when industry partners work in China, knowing that there is that indirect benefit. And frankly, indirect may be not a full characterization of the way it really is. It's more of a direct benefit to the Chinese military.
What you just saw was Josh Hawley in a committee meeting asked General Dunford about Google and their mysterious dealings. And in response, well, General Dunford had some very powerful words. And that is this, that Google is an American-run organization who refuses to work with the Pentagon, refuses to work with their own country. However, they run open arms and gladly work with a communist, tyrannical regime of China. China, a country, by the way, who right now we are at a trade war with, where tensions between the United States and the Chinese government are very high. And here we have Google basically screwing over their own American country and saying, forget America, we're going to work with the communist Chinese. You see, they are agreeing to work with a country that not only censors their people into oblivion, but also a country that applies a credit score or a social score to each and every single one of their citizens. And as a result, millions of citizens are now unable to fly there in China. A country, by the way, that is a communist country that rounds up Muslims and Christians and those of the Falun Gong religion and puts them into labor camps. This is a highly volatile situation. And here we have Google violating America and signing up with the communist Chinese. But you know, Trump even joined in on this action. Take a look at this tweet. Google is helping China and their military, but not the United States. That's terrible. The good news is that they helped crooked Hillary Clinton and not Trump. And how did that turn out for them? Well, it turned out not so good for Google, did it? Especially considering that Google still pushes and promotes Hillary Clinton today. But certainly Google's not working with the Chinese communists. Certainly an American company wouldn't do that. Take a look at this article on theguardian.com. Google working on censored search engine for China. NewYorkTimes.com. Google employees protest secret work on censored search engine for China. I reported this on my channel months ago. It's called Dragonfly. And what Dragonfly does is basically censors the Chinese people into oblivion. And I can guarantee you this, if they're doing it for the communist Chinese and doing it to them, they'll 100% do it to the American people, especially considering what General Dunford said, that they're turning their back and refusing to work with the Pentagon while working with the communist Chinese. In all honesty, I don't believe they should be doing either. But here's the thing. They stated back in 2010, and I'm going to take you back to a flashback, but in 2010, they said China supposedly stole our source code. Take a look at this report on Reuters.com. Google, Chinese hackers stole source code, says researchers. So according to Google, who now works with the communist regime, China stole our source code. Why would you work with anyone who has stole that information from you? Good question. Good question. And now they're working together. But the great news is Trump is standing up against this censorship and standing up today for the freedom of speech. And I'm going to ask you to fill out this information. Take a look at this website here. And what this is a web portal that was created by President and his administration for people to complain and report about getting banned on social media. Now, the site reads, social media platforms should advance freedom of speech, yet too many Americans have seen their accounts suspended and banned or fraudulently reported for unclear violation of user policies. No matter your views, if you suspect political bias caused such an action to be taken against you, share your story with the President of the United States of America. Please share your story today with the President. We can overflow him by the thousands, and I truly, truly believe that. But in order to do that, it's simple. All you do is click on that start button, then you'll be prompted to answer a couple series of questions. Put stuff like in your name, your email, which social media site banned you, and you're even able to put a screenshot there of the actual evidence for the banning and why they banned you. Bottom line, I'm asking you to fill this out. We need to overload the president and let him know how bad censorship truly is, especially when we have organizations like Google selling out the American people, their own people, to the communist tyrannical regime. And mind you, they are tyrannical in China. They're putting people in labor camps. This isn't minor. But you know what? There's a few mainstream media websites, mainstream media news sources who are claiming this bias doesn't exist, who are trying to call you, the American people, a liar, who is claiming that Trump is basically spanking big tech and violating big tech, making this false claim about censorship. There is some mainstream media sites that are doing this. Let me show you one example. On CNN.com, one of the biggest fake news proponents out there. But here it is. White House creates a tool for people to report alleged, do you see that? Alleged social media bias. And it goes on to say, the White House on Wednesday launched a tool for people to report instances of perceived social media bias, signaling President Donald Trump's and top Republicans' plan to continue vilifying technology companies which are currently seen as political villains by many in the conservative base. Really? You're going to tell me that we're just making this stuff up? That all this censorship happening to conservatives and Christians and Trump supporters is just a load of hot air? Oh, I know why you're saying that, CNN and other mainstream media sites. Because if I go look up a news story, say it's on Trump, say it's on Russia, say it's on anything and anything, I could plug in any kind of news story. Guess whose websites come up within the top 10? Oh, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, all the mainstream media sites. CNN gets the most traffic and is the top number one that's pushed to the top of the feed. No matter what it is you put in the search engine, they're always on top. New York Times is on top. CNN's on top, CBS is on top, mainstream media, MSM, all on top of the news feed. Maybe you have some kind of deal with big tech, CNN. Maybe you're working together because the censorship isn't happening to you. Why? Because you fit the political left narrative. Anyhow, I'd love to get your thoughts, comments, and concerns. With that, I encourage you, please don't forget to check out my partner. If you've not converted your 401k into something backed by a Roth IRA, I'm talking back it with gold, back it with silver, back it with precious metals, anything that you can get your hands on that is a lot more stable. And right now, the good news is if you roll over a $20,000 cash IRA of some sort or from a 401 to a Roth IRA, then they're now including both of these items with that for free. So you get the Trump coin, just let them know you heard it on Lisa Haven, as well as 10 ounces. This thing is awesome, of 0.999% fine silver. It's got the flag on the front and the United States of America on the back. And I believe they're also selling this as well on the website there. So go to noblegoldinvestments.com today. Click the link in the description box. That way you can get it specifically with the special deals